In today's vlog, I'm taking you to an assessment center, or at least what is called a practice assessment center. If you don't know what that means, stick around, I'll explain in a bit. But before that, can I just say how cool it was to visit Man City Stadium, which was a venue for the Practice Assessment Center. I'm a Red Devil by association, but yeah, don't let them catch me saying this outside. Anyway, this is one of the many touristy places in Manchester, and I got access to see it all for free without spending any time. We even got access to the VIP box, and I could see what people outside my tax bracket see every time they watch a game. Say God, I beg. I mean, I didn't have the full experience, but I'll take what I can't take at this stage. So back to the topic of discussion. An assessment center is usually a gathering of hiring talent and job seekers. This is usually the final stage of the interview process if you've applied to a company for a graduate role or any other thing. I'm not sure if it's restricted to just graduate roles. But if you're in an assessment center, you've probably done something really, really great and they want you so much that they've put you in a room with other job seekers like yourself and you're going to go through several tests, do a group task and possibly physical interview with the hiring talent for the company. Now, before you get to this stage, you've probably submitted your CV, you've done a biometrics test, you've done a competency-based test, and I think a video interview as well, a pre-recorded video interview. So if you're able to scale through all those 4 stages, in most interviews, you would end up at an assessment center. Now, my school was kind enough to invite us to a practice assessment center. This basically means that we're not working or we're not doing this to get a job in the end. They brought in actual hiring managers, actual people that hire for companies to run us through the entire process. The only kick is that we don't get a job in the end.
That would give me a big picture as to the kind of culture I can expect and the kind of opportunities that they have had in the past that I probably have access to.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Fantastic.
But it was really good fun and it was good practice. As you can see, I got to practice my interview skills. You basically asked me questions like I was interviewing for a job. And I did mention a job that I was interviewing for or that I was practicing for. Well, I got it unfortunately for that job in the end, but that's all right. I used this as a learning curve to understand my strengths, my skills, what to say in an interview, how to use the STAR method to best expatiate on my abilities and my job experience as it relates to the role. Assessment centers can differ based on the company, so you don't expect I don't expect what I learned in this particular one to be the same for all other companies, but there's some similarities that make it easy. So you would typically expect a group task which would judge your teamwork abilities, your problem solving skills, and you'd also do a couple of single interviews with a hiring manager perhaps or recruiter, and they would ask you competency-based questions to gauge whether you are a competent fit for the role. And then there's also another task that you have to there's also another presentation. Yes, you have to present either with a team or by yourself, but that's just basically the gist of it. Either way, I know this is going to be helpful for someone because before I went for this, I couldn't find any videos or information about what the process is like. So yeah, if you have any questions, I will leave the link to the company that collaborated with my school, and I think they're in the best possible position to answer any other questions you might have. But this was a really, really fun exercise. I got to hang out with a lot of people from my program and meet new people as well. And I got to explore Man City. I mean, Red Devil by association, but up blues. Anyway, that's all for this vlog. It's a very short one, so bye.